certain people are on standby, and if anything opens up in one of the flights they have that can get out, they need to be in the airport so they can.
I can imagine they'd be doing standby as in one by one.
Yeah.
You know, that's asking a lot too. Holy smokes. Might be easier to charge than 20.
Gotta get my,
Oh, we are talking about churches here.
Yeah.
Lutheran churches.
Oh,
We're not those like Baptists.
Yeah.
You know, the non-denom churches that have all this, money.
yeah, I hear you. Good point.
everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. Tonight is July 22nd, 2024, and this is the City Commission. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Here.
Weinreich.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Mayor Wilbur.
Here, we'll vote later. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to the agenda approval, I would have a couple of different changes. I would like to remove 8.1. And on executive session 10.1 and 10.2, we're just gonna flip-flop them. We're gonna do number 2 first, and then number 1. And that's all I have, unless anyone else has something else.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Wilbur.
Aye. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Please state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone in the audience that would have anything for public forum? Seeing none, I know Commissioner Weinreich has something.
Thank you. So yeah, we just want to give an update on the citywide cleanup from last week. And so on Tuesday, July 16th, we had a total of 59 loads at the solid waste department, 29 loads at the park and rec department. There was 840 pounds of metal and 4,400 pounds of rubble dropped off at the park and rec bin site. We did have one customer come 5 times and another one came 7 times. We had 4 loads that contained household garbages that were sent to the solid waste department. So in total, we had, like I said, 76 loads. Total amount for the 2 days was over 1.63 ton of metal. We had over 5 tons of rubble and 0.6 tonnage at the landfill. So we just wanted to thank everybody who came out to the first week of the citywide cleanup. We will start with round 2 tomorrow. Tuesday, July 23rd will be from noon to 4 p.m. And then on Wednesday from 4 to 8 p.m. That is going to be at the Sold Out Center, which is the old skating rink north of town. And then at this time, I'd like our solid waste superintendent Dale to explain a couple things about what is okay and not okay to bring.
So, Dale Forden, Solid Waste Superintendent.
Oh, yeah? Thank you.
Just, one of the things that we seen was loads of garbage 4 times on the first day and then a couple times second day. We can't drag them bags of garbage out and not have them break sometimes. So they do have to take that to the solid waste department. We do charge for that. That isn't part of this program. Same thing with tires, batteries, and we did get a couple of compressed tanks. Those can't go there, fire extinguishers, things like that. Any of the materials that we're taking at these sites also can be taken out anytime to the solid waste with your utility bill on that day, and you can take multiple loads also on those days. So they are being accepted for multiple loads on those days of that same type of material, rubble, metal, and household appliances is what we're trying to emphasize. That would be any electronics and stuff like that. Okay?
What is your hours out at the facility?
We're 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock till 3:45
Thank you.
in the afternoon.
And also want to thank the city staff who came and helped assist last week, and I know we'll have more staff helping this week and the following week, so I want to thank them for their participation as well.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Weinreich. I just want to remind the public, this weekend, Saturday night, is our street dance. This is the, I don't know, 10th, maybe 9th, 10th annual, whatever, street dance. So that starts at 8 o'clock and it runs till midnight. So Urbandale Lane will be the entertainment for the night, so everybody's welcome. Tonight, it's gonna be on this side of Dakota this year. It's on the west side of Dakota, kind of right out in front of the Sportsman's, Manolis. Anyway, it's on 3rd Street between Dakota and Kansas. 8 o'clock till midnight.
All ages,
Wisconsin.
right?
What's that?
All ages.
All ages, that's correct. Anybody can come and enjoy.
No coolers.
Yeah, no coolers. That's a no-brainer. Well, I guess not. No coolers, okay. All right, we're gonna move on to the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by this commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 4.1 is minutes of July 15, 2024. 4.2 fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3 raffle by the Huron Elks. 4.4 consider the resignation of Crystal Van Kordsum from the Community Improvement Committee and appoint Marilyn Grafsgaard. 4.5 personnel items, recommend the employment of John Miller for the police officer position. Number 2, accept the voluntary retirement resignation of John Todd, Airport Operations Maintenance Technician. Number 3 is post and advertise for an Airport Operations Maintenance Technician. Number 4, Arnold Case, Central Park Splash Central and Community Campus Center Maintenance 2 has completed his 60-day probationary period as required with his transfer. Number 5 is Josh Nelson, Park Maintenance 3 has completed his 60-day probationary period as required with his promotion. And 4.6, payment of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions, concerns? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Number 5, bid quote items. 5.1, consider payment number 1 from HK Solutions for sewer main lining in the amount of $63,606.74. And I see we have Assistant Engineer Dennis Bennett here tonight.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. This is just progress payment on that job. They're not doing any lining in town yet. This is for point repairs where the sewer's bad, broken, sag, whatever. Repairs that have been done. Recommend approval.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
motion and a second. Any questions for Mr. Bennett? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. 5.2, consider payment number 6 from First Rate Excavate Incorporated for 2023-03 Huron parking ramp removal and new parking lot construction in the amount of $135,008.18. Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. This is for the Crossroads parking lot. This is retainage on the main project. They came back in and it will be restriped and paved in the next couple weeks.
Oh.
And that'll be totally done then. Recommend approval.
Good.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So this is the remaining amount that we hold in contingent, is that what you're?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not, we have just the painting done, or that needs to be done?
No, this doesn't pay for the curb and gutter that's been put back in,
Mm-hmm.
or the asphalt replacement that needs to be done.
That'll
This
be
is
separate.
just on the main project So,
Thank you.
Anything else? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Roberts.
Aye. Moving on to number 6, petitions and communications. And first up tonight, we have an update by the Huron Chamber and Visitors Bureau. And we have Lori Shelton with us. Thank you.
All right, well, you know, I always feel I'm extremely long with this, and I will cut it short, but I will give you each a copy. You know, we do a lot, and with your funding, it helps us to do all of that. I'm also giving you our little highlighters if you haven't got one that promotes that. So I am not gonna read everything on here, which you will greatly appreciate, I know that, but just wanted to.
Feels like Halloween already.
I know I come with bribes.
Thank you.
Peggy, you're gonna have to up your game over
And I should have got you one ticket.
Well, when I saw Lori here, I thought, oh, they should know better than to put both of us here at the same
I
time.
thought the same thing actually, so, anyway, again, thanks so much for your support of the Huron Chamber and Visitors Bureau, because it does allow us to do so much within our community. We will be starting out, September 5th, doing a new strategic plan with Dr. Bill Anderson, who did the Huron Rising 2.0, so we are excited to get on board with that and to set some new goals, but still focus around our mission of serving members, strengthening business, and supporting visitors, and enhancing our community. And to start out, just, you know, we do a lot of communication efforts, and I don't know that everybody knows everything that we do. I didn't bring up our Huron SD website and our Facebook pages, but we host a chamber chat each week trying to promote the events that are within our community. We have done videos downtown trying to promote people coming on downtown during the construction time and how easy it is, or just to be looky-loos. We started construction zone bingo, where you can come down, search for construction signage and try and get a bingo. Bring that in, you get registered for a prize. If you do a blackout, then you get registered for $100 in vouchers to the businesses downtown, trying to promote those. So hopefully that will go well. That'll run until September 5th. We're doing a Where Are You Wednesday. We did start off with downtown. They're not all gonna be there, but just pictures, random pictures of something you may not identify with. It's surprising how many people know it right away. It's like, how do you know that? Like, I didn't know it. But anyway, just trying to promote different businesses and get them out and about. We're continuing with Prairie Tracks, which does continue to be kind of a costly effort. So we're gonna need to look at where that is going, because the cost to print that is like $24,000 a year. So we're looking at how to do that, and we really feel like it's a very valuable piece of information that goes to every household, 16,000 households within our region. So it does provide a lot of information, and we hope that people look at that. I get the opportunity to do new hire orientations at the hospital every month, which I think is good, and we would encourage any larger business or any business to let us do that, just to let the new residents or new employees know where they can get their information, how to find out all the things that are happening in Huron. We put out a weekly Huron Happenings calendar, plus on our poster route we do one for the whole month. We send out e-blasts. I should have looked up how many, and I didn't put that in here, every month to promote the events that our members have, plus the things that we have going on, and our Shop Local campaigns that are happening, which will be starting up here this fall. We did have the opportunity to combine with Huron Community Foundation, the City of Huron, Greater Huron, for Huron Rising 2.0, which I just think was great set of meetings, hearing from our community and looking at setting some goals for the future of Huron. And I am the chair of the Cultural Integration Committee, which has been fun, and it created such an awareness of what the needs of the different cultures in our community are, and how we communicate with them, and the things that they would like to see are very much the same that we want to see. So we're in the midst of setting our goals, looking at the things that we can do that might make a difference. And some of those are educational opportunities for both young and old, where they can access resources. We know we have 211 helpline, but it's also, that's an education of how to use that as well, and what other educational opportunities, just so that they know what their resources are. And women in the workforce was something that was brought up, that they would like, there are more women who want to be in the workforce, but what do they do to get in there, and what type of education might they need for that? And then they're very interested in a multicultural center, so what does that look like in Huron? So, big things to come. What can we do on a smaller scale, larger scale, whatever it is, that's what we're continuing to research with that committee. I'm also on the beautification committee with Dale Fortin and Drew and Brian. And so I have in here my dates of when those citywide cleanups are, which I think is a great effort, and I hadn't had a chance to call Dale today to find out what those numbers were, so that made me feel good, the amount of stuff being taken there, so I think that is awesome. And the purpose, really, I think, of our committee is just for people to take pride in our community, and let's show that, and let's work towards that all together. So, we know that the Highway 37 construction has played a big part in what's happening downtown, and we did work with the contractor with that and DOT, trying to set up those meetings as they happened in the beginning, and then continuing to try and engage the public to take those extra steps downtown and not feel like that's a burden. We did issue a contractor, go with, issue a contract, that's not really what it was, Placer AI, which is an analytics platform. We purchased that for a year, and I'm hoping to be able to continue that. And thank you to our partners, which were Greater Huron, the city, the bid board, and the state fair for being part of that. And it's really been quite enlightening for this Placer AI. And I gave some examples, like I pulled up what the Corinne soccer tournament, the amount of visitors it brought to Pepsi Field when they were here this July, which was 5,000 visitors. And it tells you the visitors, the number of times they went to that site. In 2023, it was 5,000. In 2024, they had 4.6 thousand visitors to Pepsi Field. I also pulled up Broadland Creek Golf Course just to check it from March 1st last year to July 15th of this year, and to look at the differences there, which is always interesting. And we know the weather plays a part in that. When I was looking at it, I thought, oh yeah, our spring was a little more wet than last year, so it inhibited that. Splash Central Water Park pulling reports for that. For the whole season last year, it showed that there was 9.2 thousand visitors to Splash Central. So far this year to July 15th, so just a month, it has a month more to run, but we've had 6.5 visitors there. They are averaging going there less time so far than last year, but we still have a month left in the season. And then I did pull the report for hunting season last year, the last 2 years, which I thought was quite interesting. It showed that there was 125.6 thousand visitors in 22 and 107.4 thousand visitors in 23, and I thought, oh, what was that? But the graph shows this spike on October 20th of 2022, and we had 20,000 visitors in the city, and that was because of the cross-country meet. So it's just kind of interesting. It's like, why was there so many difference from one year to the other? There are so many things we can use this Placer AI for, and I can run any report that, Park and Rec want for the different parks in town. I have that set up. Also, like I said, Splash Central and Broadland Creek. We're running a lot of reports for the things on the fairgrounds, and in my report about the barbecue championships and wheel jam, I have numbers for that. But Thomas Rhett for the ducks, I didn't bring it with me, but I have the number of how many visitors it showed, and it was like 8,000 something for visitors there. So you can do it pinpointed on a date. Just takes me about 4 days after the event to be able to get that. So it is interesting, and then it does help you know where your market is. For instance, Splash Central, where they're coming from. it's pretty much regional, but it spreads out to like Brookings and Miller and Redfield, and those areas, we're getting a lot more visitors than we might think from those areas too, so, anyway. Other stats that I have, we now have 442 members, we had 431 last year, we had 416 the year before. So we're continuing to grow that, we gain some, we lose a few, some businesses close. We've done 27 ribbon cuttings last year, and we've done 10 so far this year. Mentioned Prairie Tracks goes out to 16,066 households. If there are people who are not getting it, we need to know that, because I had a little lady today that came in, and it's the second month in a row. She goes, I don't know why I'm not getting it. So we call the post office. Why aren't you delivering them? We're paying for you to deliver these, right? And anyway, they did have a reason. Could be their temporary mail carriers, but anyway, it wasn't like it was an apartment building where they just leave a stack of them. So it was. We try and work on that because she relies on the information in there, which we always like to hear. Like, I look forward to getting that, but I don't know why I haven't. So, we're hosting 10 mixers a year, so we are doing a couple in the summer. The summer mixers do not show as high of attendance, and that's why we went for a while and not did them, but we have had several people who that's the time they want them. Conventions and events. We've serviced 22 so far this year and 28 last year, so there is a lot happening in here. Interesting stats was our lodging numbers are down like 33% through June of last year, which isn't so good. So that means the gross receipts coming in were down about 511,000. People are eating out quite a bit more though, because those stats show, unless they're just raising prices, which could be part of it as well, but it's higher than inflation, because that's up $1 million, or gross receipts are up $1 million this year, so up 11%. And the beverage establishments are down quite a bit this year, 28%. So I know some of those businesses are hurting, and that's what this tells us. So what can we do to help them, or try and, support their businesses a little bit more, and that's how we use those. Sales tax was up last year by 7%. We were down between 8 and 9% as of the last report, but I think the new one coming in hopefully looks a little bit better. Hotel occupancy really dropped 26% as the gross receipts of lodging shows. It was down 26% through April, which was the last report I had sent out. As far as the marketing monies that we spend, we do spend a lot on marketing. We've spent $177,429 so far in 2020, that's our estimated spending for 2024 in marketing dollars to promote Huron. We advertise in South Dakota Magazine, 605 Magazine. We also started advertising with Southeast South Dakota Tourism, and they have a storefront in the the Westroads Mall in Omaha, and it proves to be a good market for all of South Dakota for tourism. And so they have a kiosk in there with a big TV that rotates ads, and we have 3 different ads on there, one for the fair, one for hunting in Huron, and then just one for hunting in general there. So we'll see how that goes for us there. I talked about Splash Central Water Park. Part of the monies, we get $25,000 a year to help market Splash Central Water Park. I have the website stats in there, and the views, they have, looks like, gone down quite a little. And I think people are just used to what the website is or what those are. But Placer AI reporting shows June 1st to August 20th, which was the dates last year. The water park had 9.2 thousand visitors through that time period, and so far it's had 6.5 thousand visitors this year, which seems like quite a bit. But we do have, I put in there where the market stretches to in there. With our South Dakota Barbecue Championships and Wheel Jam, we get $20,000 from the bid board, or we received $20,000 from bid board this year to market it. And when we looked at the attendance for that, I don't even know where in here, The visitors, it shows 16,000 visitors were here this year for that, which was up from 2023, which was 13.5 thousand visitors. So if you don't think there's a lot of people in town that weekend, there is, and it continues to increase, which is awesome. For our barbecue championships, we added something new this year, the Kids Queue, and we had 8 participants for that. We hope to get more next year. It's just a new thing, but they have it in other competitions, so that is always good. We continue to do a rib contest, which brings in more teams. We had 21 teams in 2024 for the rib contest. This year we had 34 Kansas City Barbecue Society teams, which was down, and we do market early to those teams. It was late in the year, so they were going, there's other competitions that we always have to buy for. Even the first weekend, the very first part of June, we have others that we have to buy for, but we were down this year in our Kansas City barbecue teams. But they are coming in a day early, the ones that come for the rib competition, so that's a good thing. They're staying here a little longer. Our budget for marketing for hunting in Huron is $60,400. And that's what this coming year is going to be. So we continue to do a lot of digital marketing. We always feel like that's the best source of, or one of the better sources of marketing for us is the digital. But we do run TV commercials with Ron Sheriff, his Rooster Tails, Scott Linden with Wing Shooting USA, Midwest Outdoor Magazine, Iowa Sportsman's, Coil Forever, and last year we did Twins Yearbook, but we are not doing that this year because I don't think it was worth the money. And then Scott Linden has a podcast, and his podcast listeners have continued to increase, so we have gotten a lot of good remarks from that. Ringneck Festival and Bird Dog Challenge, October 31st to November 2nd this year. So, you know, if you don't have a team in and you want to, you sure can. We would love that. We are currently looking for landowners. Our deadline to register for the 6-man competition is August 31st. We have 6 teams registered so far. Everyone waits till the last minute, but we have one brand new team. Thanks Damon Robish and his friends, so that will be fun to have him. But last year we had 4 new teams, and one of them is coming back for the 2nd year as well. We haven't heard from the others, but that's always good if they come and then re-return, which is what most of our teams have done. Here in Community Guides, we work with the Plainsman and Creative Printing to continue to design and produce that each year. We try and have that done between January and February. We always like them done earlier. It never seems like it happens. But we distribute approximately 9,600 of those a year. And we always advertise in our South Dakota vacation guides, not just for Splash Central. We market hunting in Huron, and when we market Huron as a whole, and that's a big chunk of our budget, with it being $13,000 to just put an ad in those magazines. But I think it would be missed if it's not in there. Some of the fun things, Destination Marketing Grant. This is our 2nd year of a 4-year grant where we get $30,750 to market, and I can pick the things that we want. But typically it's been the ducks, it's been the barbecue, it's been hunting in Huron to help supplement that, and then last year we put extra money towards Splash Central marketing in there. And so we then have to give a report at the end of each year of where we spent the money and give the details of those. Huron Connect is doing lots of good things still. Food Truck Wednesdays, if you haven't been, the next one is coming up on July 31st, where they're partnering with HRMC. The last 2 were very good, and the numbers at Memorial Park really showed some good attendance. June was much better than May was. They're also doing things like Soup Saturday, Beer Madness. They partnered with the Community Improvement Committee for the burger battle, which was awesome. And I get people all the time, are you going to do that again this year? So hopefully they'll continue to do that partnership because it was very good. But they are always looking to engage the community with little outside activities that can bring people together. And then we also work on welcome baskets to new residents. So if you have new residents that you know of, whether it's your neighbor, somebody here that's just moving in, we need to know about it because so we can get them a little welcome basket and hopefully engage them a little bit and let them know where they can get their information. Leadership Huron is just finishing up. Their graduation will be August 1st. There was 14 students in the class this year, which is less than we like it to be, but they decided to run with it. With that, they raised $13,000 between the raffle boards that they sold and their casino night. And in addition to that, they got a community foundation grant, and they've done some really good things with that. They purchased the new LED light out at the skateboard park after there was some vandalism out there, so they stepped up because they thought they had extra money, and so they got that purchased right away, and we've paid for that. They are also purchasing items for the Huron Public Library for the after-school program, along with a shed at Ravine Lake where they stored the kayaks and things like that. They said, you know, that doesn't look very good. Can we build something new and help pay for that? So I believe that they're looking at that maybe being a warming house as well in the winter time if they put ice skating out there. So that would be a good use of that. And then also street banners for downtown. Once everything gets up and we know what kind of light poles, which I need to get with whoever about that, then we'll make those determinations on that, so. I think I said I wasn't gonna read everything, I pretty much have because I don't know where to stop and not, but, if, I know that the city and some of your, employees have taken part in Better Culture Education that is put out there, and we see a lot of our members, we send that out, and there's things that really pertain to help you have a better culture with your employees to retain and recruit them, and that's free to us. You can purchase other things with Better Culture that you pay for, but their coffees and the webinars that they have are all free, and they're very good. They're very good. So Government Affairs continues to act as they always have, and we continue to get to hear from the state of the, from the city and the county and the schools, which is awesome. Parade of Lights also, November 29th, get your parade float ready. They're looking at updating snowman and stocking lanes, so working with those lanes to hopefully get some more of their stockings and snowmen out. And then they're having a holiday tree and wreath auction. This will be the 3rd year of that. It was called Festival of Trees. That was confusing because there's Festival of Trees at the event center, so they changed the name. Egg Banquet is December 6th with Weston Frank, and that is open to the public. So hopefully you can all attend that. They make it a family-friendly event. I mean, he is a singer, but anybody can come. There's usually games for kids and bouncy houses and then good entertainment there. So I put in here about our world's largest pheasant because I know you always want to know about that, and there is nothing to report. Except that we did get our money back from the contractor who we filed a suit against, which was awesome. I think right after I gave my report last year, I may have gotten that money. I did not have to go and testify against him, which I was supposed to do, and they kept telling me, and then they said, nope, we're not doing anything right now. So I don't know what happened down there, and I don't know that I care. I just didn't have to go testify. We're just kind of in a wait and see mode with our board to see what we want to do. The other thing I put in here is last year we spent $168,210 with all of our local businesses, and there's probably more than that, but we try and purchase everything that we can locally. So we want to, those members that support us, we want to support them. And how'd they do, 10 minutes? Sorry.
You did good.
Anyway, you have any questions? And thank you very much for your support again. If there's things that I didn't cover that you would like to hear, it's an open door. It may take me a while to look something up, but I've got answers, so anyway, thank you very much.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Well, next on our program is the Queen of Fun, Peggy Bash from the State Fair.
Mayor, Commissioners, Mary Pauline, and I just want to say kudos to Lori and the Chamber, because things happen in this community and people just don't know how they happen, they just happen and they just show up. And there's people behind the scenes doing the work, so, and they are very engaged with the State Fair, so thank you for all you do. I will start with the shed update. As a reminder, the shed will be the new sheep barn during the fair and then multi-purpose non-fair time. The project is 40,000 square feet, multi-purpose facility, able to accommodate 1,000 head of sheep. There is a education and classroom, and then restrooms. And so initially, the estimated cost for this project was $8 million. We have, through the state, we'll receive $4 million in appropriation for the state. Our initial fundraising goal was $3 million, and currently we are just shy of $2 million. The reality is $3 million is unrealistic, especially coming off of the decks. It's just not gonna happen. So probably the project is gonna be, you know, closer to that 6.1, 6.2 million. And so we have a design team made up of sheep exhibitors and producers, engineers, our team and our foundation. And they've been doing a lot of work to reduce the cost and get us back in budget range. And so I feel really good about it. So an example is they're able to change the rafter system. It still has that cool roof, so we didn't have to change it. But that saved us a substantial amount of money. And then we're also able to use, we had some new transformers and electrical panels that were put in that general area 3 years ago. We can use those, so those things are helping us to reduce our costs. So the basic footprint hasn't changed from the original design and what the donors, what they've seen. So the construction documents are 100% complete now, and so it's gonna be going out for bids here soon. And then we'll have the bid opening mid-August, and we'll just think positive and hope it all comes together. So the groundbreaking is still scheduled for Thursday, August 29th, the second day of the fair at 2 o'clock, so you all will be receiving invitations here in the near future. So, and the intent would be to have the grand opening at the 2025 State Fair. So all good stuff. Maintenance and repair projects taking place this summer. We have sewer and water lines going right through the heart of the fairgrounds, as you all are well aware, and you also are all well aware of the rain and how that's delayed things. That was supposed to be done prior to Wheel Jam, and it's still not complete, but they have made major progress in the last couple weeks. And it's the same contractor as downtown Midland. So they've been going to town, and I mean, no fault of their own with the weather, but it certainly makes for challenges when you have large events and you don't want them on the construction and nobody pays attention to the, you know, do not drive here, all those things. So we had some new decorative garage doors installed in the wine pavilion in the tap house, and that really has spruced up how that looks. One of the projects slated for next year is to re-side the tap house. It needs to have some work done to it, so that'll be on the docket for next year. And they are actually pouring concrete. They started yesterday, or we're putting a patio on the east side of the tap house and in between the wine pavilion and the tap house for flow of traffic. So that's currently underway. The sidewalk from the decks going west, the front of the decks going west to Rec Avenue is complete. They are now in the process of installing decorative lighting. Our goal, of course, is to use that building year-round, and it gets pretty dark in that area overnight, and with the large events, when we have to park people out on the carnival mat, we need to have a lighted, better path to get them there in the evening hours. So our horse stalls, it's a major project because nobody cares unless you have horses. So we got a lot of complaints about our horse stalls when they're in disarray, but we're so unlevel and not safe for horses. And so we literally had to dismantle the insides of them to go in and chisel out and put clay in, but that project is done, and it's literally been a project all summer long, so we're really glad to have that done. Two big projects coming up. The Dakota Land Museum needs a new roof, as does the Dairy Barn. And so, we are working with engineers on that, and that will go out for bids. Both of those will go out for bids this fall. The dairy barn's a really big project, very expensive. But so depending on how the bids come in and contractors' schedules, it could start this fall or more than likely spring, but we'll see. But those are both really important projects, so. Non-fair events, mostly livestock events, horse shows, barrel racing, team roping, weddings, meetings. Last year, we hosted 220 events, which is a 6% increase over the previous year, and that represented 459 days, so that's a 5% increase over the year. Incidentally, 77 of those events, of the 220 events, were non-income generating events. So those are things that we kind of give back. So 4-H, we don't charge 4-H for anything. Army National Guard to use our facilities, the Norby Hall primarily, and then United Way are examples of things we do to give back. Events coming up. South Dakota Summer Spotlight is rolling in. You'll start seeing some traffic go out there right now. They're all placing their campers, trying to first come, first serve, get in there. That event has gotten really large, and this year is the first time they will be in the decks. So they'll be in the decks, the swine barn, the north half of the FFA building, and the dairy barn. So, and then the beef tie-outs on the south end of the campground, which is why we closed 3rd Street, because lots of traffic going back and forth. Egg Tegra, well, after that is 4-H Achievement Days, July 30th and 31st, and then Egg Tegra's Customer Appreciation Event is August 2nd and 3rd. Brothers Osborne is the band that's in the concert in the grandstand. We are looking for beer slingers. We could use about another 8 people to help us in the grandstand in those beer huts. So if you want to listen to a concert, maybe not see much of it, we could sure use a few more hands there. Dakota State Fair Speedway has a race on August 17th. And then we pretty much shut down from there and get ready for fair, although, I mean, obviously we're getting ready for fair now. Then the end of September through October, just about every weekend, there's something booked in the decks, whether it's barrel race, rodeo, team roping. November highlights will be the Little Britches Rodeo, and then M&M Productions, which is the McGurr, Moody's and McGurr's bull riding event. Bull riding and breakaway will be in the decks on Thanksgiving weekend. This will be the 2nd year. And then on New Year's Eve, we're gonna have a Bulls and Broncs in the decks. So lots of good stuff. We do have 3 national events that are extremely interested, but they are waiting word on status of another hotel property. So we've got some dates penciled in, but they're sitting back waiting to see, because we need those hotel rooms. So as far as last year's fair, because I haven't talked to you since then, I'm sure you all recall last year's fair was really tough. We had record-breaking heat. Huron broke records from 1893 on Sunday at 103 degrees, and we broke the record from 1918 on Monday at 102 degrees. So it didn't do us any favors. We made the decision to modify our rules on Friday, and we started letting livestock leave Friday evening. And that's a tough thing to do when you're, your pocketbook, when you're looking at your financials and you're sending people home, but we didn't want to lose any livestock. So we gave people the choice to go ahead and leave, and we saw that throughout the rest of the week. Never in our history of the fair have we had to shut down the carnival, which we did 3 days in the afternoons. And that just has a domino effect on your vendors, your exhibitors, the commercial vendors. So needless to say, it was a tough fair, but we got through it. So we're really looking forward to making up some ground this year. It's gonna be like really nice weekend. Official dates this year, August 28th through September 2nd. I'm sure you all recall, we made Wednesday the official start date of the fair now moving forward, and I think it's gonna take us a little while to, people to get used to that. We anticipate this year's Wednesday is probably gonna be pretty typical of a preview day. Higher because we'll have livestock here on grounds, but it's gonna take a while to get that up and running. Because we don't have a sheep barn, open class sheep show will take place the weekend before. So that'll take place August 24th and 25th, and that doesn't help our numbers either when you're having those events prior to the fair. Grandstand, of course, we've got the Red Rope Construction, Tough Human Bull Bash Wednesday and Thursday. Google Dows with special guests Corey and the Fireflies on Friday. Riley Green with special guest John Morgan on Saturday, and Tracy Atkins with Tyler Halverson, who's a South Dakota boy, on Sunday. And then Labor Day, we're doing a Taylor Swift tribute, which we're really super excited about, and we've got some fun stuff going with that. But this tribute band is really, really good. So, cool attractions we're bringing back for the fair. Everybody has we just get tons of positive feedback on the mural artist, so we're bringing him back from Connecticut. First Dakota football at the fair, the SDSU versus Oklahoma State game will be there'll be a watch party on Saturday. I think this is the third year that we've done that, and it's been a tremendous success. So America 250, if you don't know, America will be celebrating its 250 year in 2026. So the governor had appointed a commission, America 250 Commission, and that group has been meeting on a regular basis, doing things in preparation of that. I've been appointed to that primarily because of my role at the fair, and the fair talking about what's our role gonna be for that. But there's lots of communities and organizations across the state that are getting engaged in that. So you're gonna be hearing more about that. But on the 4th of July, there was an announcement about Walk 250 Miles by the year 2026 initiative, and so we are starting that this year. So you can walk 2.5 miles daily to win souvenirs, or you can walk 25,000 steps in one day for a chance to win 2 tickets to the 2025 concert of your choice. So there'll be lots of different activities going on. And then the Daughters of the American Revolution are bringing a national traveling exhibit, and that'll be in Younger Hall. It's called the American Revolutionary Experience, and so people can learn the impact that the Revolutionary War had on people's ordinary lives. Lots of exciting acts on our free stages, and I was gonna read through some of those, but our event guide was finalized today, so that'll be coming out soon, so you'll have to read all about it there. But we got some really exciting things on our free stages. Beer Garden will feature the Union Cattle Band, which is country and rock, the Dweebs, whom you all know, Eclipse, Urbandale Lane, and the Johnny Home Band. Other things to mention, daily gate admission, those tickets are available online or in our office, and if you purchase them in advance, you get $2 off adults and $1 off youth. Of course, the State Fair app will be up and running fairly soon, so you can get all your information there as well as the event guide. There are a lot of opportunities for folks to save money, almost on a daily basis, so there's lots of promotions. So buy your tickets in advance. We're doing a promotion on Wednesday, so there'll be discounted ticket prices on Wednesday as well. The carnival rides on Wednesday are gonna be $2, and they'll open at 3. Of course, if you purchase grandstand tickets in advance, that includes your gate admission. But there's just a lot of other opportunities. You can bring goods on certain days for discounts and that kind of thing, so. Yeah, so our focus will remain to be a place to celebrate youth, agriculture, and our South Dakota traditions and heritage. So I always end with a plea for workers. We are, as always, this time of year, looking for a variety of workers for the week of the fair, but right now, we could certainly use maintenance staff now probably through the end of October, first part of November. So if you hear of anybody looking for some extra cash, send them our way. So, any questions?
How many staff do you take to put on the fair? 200, 300, 400?
Little over 400.
So you need a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we don't have a lot of volunteers. Our courtesy cart drivers are all volunteers, but the vast majority are all paid folks.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we need a lot.
Well, thank you, Peggy.
All right, thank you so much.
I just
Thanks for
wanna-
your support.
I just wanna say one thing, if you don't know Lori Shelton or Peggy Besh, and if you go to an event that the city is putting on, or the chamber is putting on, or if you go to the fair, or go out to the fairgrounds, a lot of times you'll see them walking around like zombies. Because these two ladies put in a lot of hours, and they do, that, when the thing is going on, their work is done. We're the ones having fun. You guys, can't say thanks enough for the hours you put in.
Thank
It's
you.
crazy. It's
We got a
amazing.
great support team.
Yes.
You all do, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Peggy.
All right, moving on to 6.3, consider rescinding the conditional use permit for Humphreys THC LLC. City Planner Barry Cranston, please.
Thank you, Mayor. As you'll recall, in our ordinance, in our zoning ordinance, under our ordinance, we allow up to a maximum of 4 medical marijuana dispensaries. And then in the joint jurisdictional area between us and Beetle County, we allow 2 additional dispensaries. We have been notified that Jeffrey Van Winkle intends to close his dispensary. It was located at 233 Dakota Avenue South in the old Humphreys building. And so he has now closed his store as of July 10th. And therefore, this body needs to take action to then rescind his conditional use permit so that it is no longer available at that address. The conditional use permit, as you'll recall, is only good for a single address. It does not travel with the organization or with a single proprietor. And so, in order to eliminate that license for that, or that permit for that location, we need to have this body rescind it. So I did submit a memo that's in your packet to give you a little more background, but with that, I just recommend that this body rescind that conditional use permit.
Make a motion to approve 6.3 and rescind the conditional use permit for Humphreys LLC.
Second.
Any discussion? Did you have something? No? Okay. Go ahead.
Question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Does that also require signage to come down?
Yes.
There's some
Yes.
front signage on?
Yes, and I'll contact him about that after this.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Is that immediately available then? You know, I know with the other places we have in town, I doubt anyone's rushing forward to jump in, but once we rescind it, is there a process before it's available, or is it?
Yeah, they just need to contact the office, and then we go through the same process that we used before, and it's very similar to a variance process where it has to come in front of this body then to be approved again, just for a different location, or that location if he were to lease his building to someone else.
And then what about fees? Obviously, he mentions in the note that he got out before the state license, but we had collected some stuff, so we won't obviously collect anything moving forward
Correct.
now. When was he due to pay it?
End of the year is renewals for January 1.
Sounds good, thank you. But there,
Okay.
we don't have to rebate anything to him for the remainder
No.
of this year or anything?
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Number 7 is ordinances and resolutions. First reading of ordinance number 2263-8-24 pertaining to animals, and set the second reading for July 29. I guess I'm gonna turn this over to,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Tucker probably.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. With the new state law change, explaining that a person who assumes responsibility for a feral cat for the purposes of stating or neutering that cat and then releasing it, this ordinance change clarifies that that conduct is not going to be prosecuted under Title 8 of the city ordinances.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I guess I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any comments? Mr. Weiners?
I just wanna thank, the committee. I know there's some members here today, you know, Laura Jones with Alley Cat. They fought, to have the state law changed and were successful, and we wanna commend you for doing that. And this is kind of the first step in making it official for you guys, so thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to 7.2, second reading of ordinance 2262-24-10 pertaining to water main subdividers. No,
Yes.
Mr. Cranston.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, this is just the second reading of the ordinance. What this did was to make some subtle changes into the subdivision ordinance that had to do with the requirement for developers to not only put in sewer, but to also allow, or to install whatever devices or appurtenances that it would require to provide water for a development. This continues to move forward as with the requirement of a performance bond and those types of things, so that the city won't be hung out to dry, so to speak, for any future costs if an event in the developer's life may happen and cause issues with the final construction of the development.
Okay,
With that, I'd recommend approval.
okay. This is the second reading, so,
Move to approve. I'll take a second on it.
okay. Any discussion, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrice.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to departmental items. 8.2, update street closure of Fourth Street construction project. And I'm gonna call on Commissioner Sean Harvey.
Thank you, Mayor. We just wanted to put a notice of street closure out, Fourth Street southeast from Sherman Avenue, which is the gravel road just east of the river, is now closed all the way up to the community gardens for phase 1 of the Fourth Street reconstruction project. Access to the community gardens and the yard waste drop-off site, you will need to come in off of Custer Avenue at this time. And then when that is done, we will open this up and you will come in from Custer Avenue. But right now, you need to access from Custer Avenue.
Okay,
And
thank
if
you.
you have any
Commissioner.
questions, please call 605-353-8510. And I said that wrong.
You did?
When this is done, you'll access from this side.
Oh,
But right now, access from Custer Avenue.
okay. I knew what you
Seems
meant.
like there's a lot of Custer Avenue.
Yeah, I know, there's a lot of Custer Avenue. I'm just trying to get Custer Avenue out there.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Commissioner. We don't need any action on that. I guess that's just for information. 8.3, Dakota Avenue construction update, street closures. Again, Commissioner Sean Harvey.
Yeah, just a construction update. Full street closure on Dakota Avenue currently extends from Market Street to the north side of Fifth Street intersection. The intersection